So ever since I bought this car, this 2017 BMW 330, one of the most popular questions I get is why I didn't buy a 340 or just overall a B58. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to answer one of the most popular questions that I get, and that's why I didn't buy a B58 and I got this car instead. So if you guys are new to the channel, I recently bought this car, I want to say maybe like 3 weeks ago. It is a 2017 BMW 330. If you guys didn't know already, this car comes with the B46/B48 engine. It does not come with the B58. The 340 comes with the B58. So this car comes with the 4-cylinder. So people ask me all the time, since you love cars, since you like going fast, why didn't you buy the B58? Why didn't you buy the 340? And there's a lot of reasons for that, guys. So off the bat, if you guys can tell, this is not my only car. So again, if you guys have been watching my channel, you'll know for a while that I have a few other cars. But if you guys are new here, just really quickly, I have two other cars. So I have this 2018 BMW X3 M40. So if you guys are familiar with BMWs, you'll actually know that this car comes with the B58. Besides that, I also have this 2015 BMW 435. And this car, if you guys didn't know, comes with the N55, which is also the 6-cylinder, basically BMW's 6-cylinder that came right before the B58. So now this is not meant to be a flex or a brag by any means. If you guys notice a theme, all of these cars are a few years old, and I of course did that on purpose. You get them for a lot less when you buy them new. I definitely did not pay MSRP for any of these cars. But also besides that, guys, I just generally love cars. I prioritize them over things like clothing or trips or vacations. I just love them, which I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video can relate to and you'll understand. But again, this is not meant to be a flex. This is actually to help me answer the question of why I did not get a B58 or a 340 when it comes to the F30. Also, all these cars technically aren't just for me. It is between my wife and I. So my wife drives the X3 M40 most of the time. That's pretty much like her daily driver. The F30 is my daily driver, which is actually going to be part of the reason why I did not get a B58. And then the 435 is more like my fun car, the car that I really go crazy with and I mod. As you guys can tell just right off the bat, it is like dropped to the ground. It also doesn't even have a front lip right now, which I used to have and I had to get rid of, but I actually have a new one. It's actually sitting inside the car right now, but we'll install that later. So most of the time it's actually even lower than this. But yeah, so there's a lot of reasons why I have multiple cars. I actually always had 3 cars. I had the 435, I had the Civic, and I got my wife this SUV. And if you guys watched one of my previous videos, I talked about why I was selling that Civic, and when I sold the Civic, I got this 330 in its place. Now this is going to lead us to one of the big reasons why I did not get a B58 or a 340, and that of course is price. So that Civic that I had was only worth about like $4,000 or $5,000. So when I wanted to swap it out, I wanted to get something not exactly the same price, of course, because obviously this 330 is not the same price of that Civic, but something at least closer. So a 340 would probably cost me about like 40 or 45K. This car literally costed me half of that. So that's probably the biggest reason why I did not get a 340/B58, because obviously, guys, if I could afford it, I would have gotten an M3 and I would have happily dailied that car. I mean, I just don't have that type of money. So I had to get something sensible in terms of budget. And now the next reason, probably the next biggest reason why I did not get it, is actually these other cars here. And by that, I of course mean this X3 M40 already has a B58. So in terms of experiencing the B58, modding a B58, I kind of already have one. So if I got a 340, I would have had another of the exact engine, which I mean isn't a bad thing. Obviously, guys, the B58 is amazing. If you guys have one, you obviously know they were great engines, probably the best 6-cylinder BMW ever made. I know there are people who love the N55 and the N54, probably even more so. But yeah, the point is I already have a B58, so I'm not really going to be experiencing anything new with it. Whereas the B48, it would be my first time owning. It would also in general be just my first time owning a 4-cylinder BMW, which is just new to me. Because like I said before, guys, this 435 has the N55, so I also already have a 6-cylinder sort of like fun car, because as much as I love the X3, we're obviously not going as crazy on it. My wife drives it. It's an SUV. We're not going to go crazy. The 435 I will though, and I already have a 6-cylinder in it. The N55 also sounds amazing, and this might be controversial, but I honestly think the N55 sounds better than the B58. So in a way, it's more exciting. It's not as fast, and you can't push as much power as easily out of it, I would say. but it sounds amazing. So yeah, I already have a B58, I already have an M55. I don't have any 4-cylinder BMW, so this 3 Series is something very new and different for me, especially as someone who likes to mod cars and likes to play around with them. It's only so much fun, you know, modding the same engine on just different chassis. Again, guys, price still has a lot to do with it, because if I could have afforded a 340, I probably would have gotten one anyways. But this is still another big reason why I did. Also, guys, being a YouTuber, even though I barely have any subscribers, I still kind of want cars that can give me good content for YouTube. So obviously the B58 and the X3 M40 is new, it's different. The 435 with the N55 is different as well. And then the 330 with the B48 is also pretty different. This way, when I'm buying mods and I'm modding these cars or I'm maintaining them, I have a lot of different options, a lot of different things to show. Again, B58, B48, and 55. Also, for anybody who has these cars or likes these motors or whatever it is, I have a lot more options to appeal to a lot of different people. Now, this is not to say I only do this for YouTube. I buy these cars first and foremost for me and my wife. So like when I bought this 3 Series here, I obviously bought it for a lot of reasons. It's a 4-door. I needed a 4-door because my Civic was a 2-door and my family is growing, so I need more doors, and obviously the 435 isn't cutting it. I do have the X3, but again, my wife drives that, so I needed 4 doors, guys. Now, for the last reason, I think the 330 with the B48 makes a better daily driver car than the 340 with the B58, and there's a few reasons for that. Now, again, this does not mean the 340 with the B58 isn't a great daily driver car. It actually is. The B58 is a super reliable car, still pretty good on gas, and super fun to drive. Again, guys, I know very well because the X3 M40 has it. So again, I say this a million times, but if money wasn't an issue, I would have gotten a 340 as a daily. Heck, I would have even gotten an M3. But unfortunately, I'm not rich, and money is still a strong factor. And when I say money, I don't mean just the overall cost of the car, because we kind of already talked about. I mean maintaining the car, price of gas, all that type of stuff. Because like I said, guys, this is a 330. It is a base model, so the brakes are smaller, they're cheaper to replace. Has a B48, parts are just generally cheaper. I feel like, from at least my experience, parts for the B58 or the 6 cylinders in general, and even more so for like the S55 and the S58, I feel like the parts for the maintenance or even mods are always more expensive. But thankfully though, the parts for this car are pretty cheap. Again, it's even good on gas. It's better than the B58. The X3 does pretty good on gas, but obviously it's a large SUV. I probably get, like, on a good day, 27 on the highway. The 330 though, I've gotten up to like 32, 33 on the highway without even trying too hard. And then the 435 over here, it used to be good on gas, guys, but since I've modded it, I put these like super wide wheels on it. It's 275s in the back, whereas it came with 225s all around. It's definitely not the best on gas, but that's fine. We just have fun with that car. So hopefully that clears a lot of things up, guys. Again, I do apologize that this video was kind of all over the place. It was kind of just me coming out here and deciding to answer this question, because I get a lot of messages about it. I get a lot of people asking me in person. So if you guys want to see the build for this car, the build for the X3, or even the build for the 435, or whatever cars come next, please hit that subscribe button. Also, drop this video a like. It really helps me out. It helps YouTube push these videos to more people, so I can continue to do this and continue to mod these cars and continue to share it with you guys. With that said, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.